All week long, we've been sharing inspiring stories with you.
As people right here in our community get ready for the Riverbank Run, now just 2 days away.
Tonight, we're hearing from a man who spent years struggling with his weight. 24-hour News 8's Larry Figursky shows us that this runner says something happened to him to prompt the decision to change his entire lifestyle.
Tim Beurer was inspired to run by the man he looked up to most, yet feared he'd become.
In 1995, my father passed away with a brain aneurysm, and my dad hit the scale at a pretty high weight.
At just 5'8", Tim Sr., a longtime football coach, weighed more than 400 pounds. He was just 45 years old when he passed away. When Tim Jr. approached his 40s at just 5'6" and
probably just over 300 pounds.
And ultimately his father's age,
I decided that I needed to do something, and I just kind of kept watching my weight creep higher and higher. And then it just finally got to a point I can't do this anymore. I have to do something different.
Although he was active, playing hockey and other sports, Tim decided that with his father's genes,
and knowing that I was kind of marching down that same path,
he needed not an activity, but a lifestyle. He chose one he didn't like, running.
When I first started doing it, I would run mailbox to mailbox and thought I was going to die.
But when the walks in between the next two mailboxes eventually turned to runs,
I started to realize I wanted to do something significant, and in Grand Rapids they have all these lovely races for whatever distances. And I decided to pick off the Irish Jig back in 2009 as my first race, and I said I'm going to run this 5K.
That would lead to 5 others that first summer, including the Riverbank Run.
And it was such a positive experience crossing the finish line. As I watched people finish the race after I got done, it made my accomplishment seem far less significant. And I thought, well, I want to do something a little bit more. So I told myself, next year you're going to run a 10K.
The following year, Tim trained for and took part in the 25K.
I've had great experiences each time that I've done it. The first time, it was a great experience, but I struggled. My calf muscles tied in knots, and I really had tried running across the finish line and couldn't. So walked across the finish line.
So he tried again last year, and
I was able to cut 24 minutes out of the time from year 1 to year 2. So I'm kind of hoping for that same result this year too.
And now the man who hated to run hates not to.
It's something that makes me upset when I can't do it. Well, I used to be the guy that had to have the headphones and the iPod to run, and now I just want to find somebody to run with, to carry on a conversation. And if some say share the misery, I say share the joy, but either way, you know, someone to run with.
In the process, Tim has lost about 100 pounds, a third of his body weight.
I can't put a price tag on how much better I feel. I'll be 42 at the end of this year, so at 41 years old, standing here today, this is the best I've ever felt.
Today, the only regret Tim has is that the man who inspired him to lose the weight and get healthier can't be there to see him cross the finish line.
Every time that I'm out there running, especially running in a race, I think about him all the time, wishing that he could be there at the finish line. But I really hope that he knows that a part of him I carry with me every day, but especially a part of him I carry with me when I run. So I guess if I'm doing this, not only for myself, but for him, I would really hope that my dad would be proud of me.
In Grand Rapids and East Grand Rapids, Larry Figursky, 24-hour News 8.
And I'm